Hello, everybody, and welcome to Through the Mist, Episode 9. It's been a little bit since our last game, so we'll do a quick recap. Last time, you all had headed down into the basement of the strange house you had found yourself in. Um, just prior to which, you had actually just come out of the basement because these strange cats had attacked you, killed Lilith. But then Lilith, after you carried her body back upstairs, sprang back to life. She looks a little worse for wear. But after a rest, you all decided to go back down into the basement because there was a door that you hadn't opened down there. And so you were trying to figure out what it was that was down there. And opening the door, you just found a small, semi-collapsed room that had like a bunch of crates and rotted furniture and mildewy fabrics and such. But upon further investigation, I believe it was Dizzy had found there was something weird about the wall. On the map, it's the wall to the left, but one of the walls was I know it was Lyra that noticed that the wall was different, and Dizzy found, oh, there's like this area here that I could probably chisel out. And so you had all begun to work at chiseling out some of the stones, and having just removed them and glancing through, Fickle Fate decided to rear its head, and Lyra rolled poorly. I mean, uh, Lyra rolled, and now as we begin, Lyra, you hear Lyra come out of the small hole that reveals a darkened room beyond.
Lyra's going through it right now. She's really going through it in this damn house. This house will not let her have peace.
Or
She
maybe
hears
it
her
just
name.
wants to be friends. You never know.
Yeah, okay. Given Lyra's experiences, press X it out, guys.
Right? I'm going to draw a
So,
little square here. This is
okay,
where the brick is that you
okay. And
opened
like
up.
Lyra and Dizzy have kind of been like fluttering around. Well, not fluttering, Twiggy's fluttering, but they've been crawling around, the boxes looking for openings. So, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna move my token every time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, but so Lyra kind of hears her own voice and she gestures to Dizzy and is like, come here, come here. And she's like, like, and she'll like point to the hole in the wall. She's like, "Do you hear anything? Do you hear that? Do tell me you hear that, please."
At this
Do I
point,
hear anything?
at this
Or
point, you don't hear anything. But what's your passive perception?
Me?
No, Dizzy.
Oh yeah,
11.
because
Sorry, what was that, Dizzy?
11?
11. Yeah, it was very faint as you were not like right in front of the hole, but you definitely heard a voice come through the other side that said Lyra's name. At this point, you don't hear anything though.
Okay. Should we proceed or
so Lyra
Always.
is going to look at Twiggy and say, "Well, if our barbarian was proper sized, maybe we could smash through the wall."
Hold on! What do you mean by proper size, first of all? Second of all, I can knock down any wall. Third, I am the best wall destroyer, wizard, magic person to ever exist. The best.
By all means, then, Twiggy.
Okay, you need to back up and just bask in this glorious action that is about to happen. Yeah, back up real far. Yeah, there might be splinters. There might be entire sections of wall that might bounce against the other side and fly back in your direction.
And as Twiggy's
Lyra takes
explaining all
half
of
a
this,
step
you do
backward.
look around at the room, which has bits of the ceiling have caved in. The one of the walls is just like gone as Earth has pushed it out, and you're like, Yeah, that could really, this whole room might explode depending on what he's doing.
That's right.
So, where would Dizzy and Lyra like to go?
I would like Lyra to leave, but Lyra
Yeah, I'm
probably
gonna
takes
stand back there.
Okay.
Lyra at first probably takes a half a step backwards, like literally just like a dubious half a step backwards, and then she like looks around the room. She goes and like goes and stands by Lilith and Dizzy.
Yeah,
It's like,
Lilith is going to
fine.
stand. She opens the door and like holds it open just in case anything collapses. You can all run out of it.
Perfect.
Right. Well, I'm going to. I mean, I am a bit exhausted. It's been a very long day, night, twilight, unknown, in this house. So he's all raged out, but he's going to muster a little bit of that, a little bit of that fire. He's going to fling himself at the wall with all of his tiny might, try and bust a hole through it.
Sure. Why don't you make us an athletics check?
Yeah, athletics. That's right. Which he is not proficient in.
I will use bardic inspiration.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I mean, I guess you don't need to do it anyway.
Don't need it. Best wall destroyer ever.
So,
Bam.
where on the wall are you like hitting it around where that brick was knocked out? Somewhere else? Like it's a 20-foot wall.
Well, I mean, if the brick hole is here,
Mm-hmm.
then I need to probably bonk it either above or below or on the sides of it. So let's just kind of aim for right here, see if we can't dislodge some more bricks if they're a little loose in that area.
Okay.
If I can get through a hole, then obviously they can too.
So, roll a d6 for me there, Twiggy.
I can totally do that. Best D6 roller ever. 5.
5. All right, so Twiggy flaps his wings real hard, shoots forward, and at the last moment, his wings streamline back. He throws his shoulder forward, smashes into the brick. The brick pops out, and Twiggy like shoots through after the brick, and like 4 more bricks, kind of like the ones just above and just below and off to the side, go. He definitely owned that brick.
That's right. I'll pop my head out and be like, and come on, let's go.
So the hole is probably only like two feet wide, maybe.
Yeah. So if Lyra and Dizzy were to get like a boost from Lilith, you could like squinch through. You wouldn't be able to like step through. You could like crawl through essentially, but it's like up a little higher. Lilith is going to have a hard time.
Is there like, do the bricks around that little hole look like can it be widened just a little bit safely? Like
It
Lyra's
definitely
like
looks
looking
like
at it, like
yeah. Twiggy's,
so she's
Twiggy's
gonna, like-
impact like kind of like
loosened.
left a couple like shifted a little bit, so it's obvious that they are able to be knocked out.
okay.
Oh, like a really good Jenga setup.
Totally.
Where you've got, oh yeah. That's
Perfect.
right.
So Lyra's
Getting
going
the
to gently, widen the hole a little bit to make it a little bit easier.
Okay.
As well, like she's very lithe and nimble and all that stuff. She's not sure about Dizzy, so she's like, let's just make this a little bit easier.
Okay. So while that is happening, Twiggy, where are you going to remain?
Near the hole because I can't see in the dark.
But you're on the other
So-
side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
let's see, I'll
pop you
move
over
myself.
there.
Bloop.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, because I can't really see much beyond wherever that light spills into this space.
Okay.
I suppose. But I will be definitely acting pretty pleased with myself.
You actually lit a torch last time. Oh no, that was when you were down there right after the cats. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hey Jared, just FYI, for whatever reason, I can't see effects on my map right now.
Interesting. What kind of effects? Like,
Like Lilith like circle, like I can't, like I can see it on stream, but I can't see it on our game board.
Oh,
interesting. I will take
Yeah.
a look at that while.
Okay.
same. I don't see. Is there something that you're supposed to be able to see, like the light radius?
I have a radius on mine that I think is following Dizzy. Dizzy, that's yours, right? Or is that Lilith's?
Oh, that's mine. The
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
dancing lights. I think.
Yeah. 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 Anyways. Sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, you should be able to see the dancing lights radius, right?
Yeah, I don't on my game board.
Weird. Oh,
Am I the only one?
it's probably because you have dark vision.
Okay.
Can you
but I
see the
turned it
room?
off. Oh, yeah, that's probably why.
Okay,
I can
gotcha.
see the whole.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so strange.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
But still weird that you can't see
Yeah.
the. I don't know why it's set that way. We'll figure it out.
Don't worry. Not important.
So Twiggy, as the dancing lights move closer, you can tell that the chamber that you're in does extend further down. On the map, it would be the downwards to the south, but it's very dark down there. You can't see it whatsoever as far as details. On the other side, Lilith is just kind of hanging out, waiting for you guys to make enough room for her or for you to get through. Dizzy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see if there's any way that I can help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the way that that Lyra is essentially knocking out stones, it's weakening the wall over on the side, so you could definitely like help push out stones and speed up the process.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Do I need to make like a strength?
Not really. Yeah, at this point, it's all been weakened by the torpedo known as Twiggy,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
and so it's easy to just kind of work it loose and then shove it through. And after a couple moments, the two of you create an opening large enough for you to just step easily through.
Okay.
What do you do?
Lyra's gonna follow Twiggy through the hole.
Okay.
She's gonna come this way.
And as you step through with your dark vision, you can see that there. Actually, I want to make sure just so I know that you can see. Can you see down here where I'm pinging?
I can see the whole map.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, it looks like the chamber extends off to the south. It looks like it kind of it'd be your left. The cave-in area seems to fill in that left side, but there is a door and kind of a curved wall in one corner of the room.
Lyra's just listening. She's like on high alert.
Sure.
She heard her name. She's like,
Go ahead and make a perception check.
okay. She has advantage on perception from her dagger thing.
Oh yeah,
Her magic
nice.
dagger. Yep. And her passive, I think we said was 17. I think that made it. Oh no. Yes, we did. We did.
Yeah,
say
so
that.
is your passive 12 now?
My passive is 13 right now.
13. So yeah, it'd be 18 is your passive with your dagger.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So as you're listening, you do hear maybe the sounds of like a wind blowing through something. It seems distant, but that kind of like noise seems to be coming kind of from the doorway. While that's happening, Disney, what are you doing?
I'm gonna also try to listen to see if I hear the voice again.
And go ahead and make a perception check because your passive is lower. Nice. You don't hear the sound of the voice. It's pretty quiet down here. You hear Lilith kind of kicking some wood pieces aside. She like picks up one of the bricks that you guys pulled out and throws it across the room. Just get it out of her way, and then she steps in over here. Twiggy, what are you doing?
Thinking about those lobster rolls. Just really thinking about settling into this place. Just needs a little bit of work.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this place isn't all that bad. Free lobster rolls, laid out a little bit weird, but this place is great.
Sorry, I need to step away for a second.
All right, so Lyra, you do hear that noise. What do you do?
Lyra is gonna kind of point, or she knows that Twiggy can't see in the dark,
Mhm.
right? So she's like, there's a door that way. There's wind, but there's no windows here, Twiggy. Are you? That's not you, right? So you're not doing wind things.
Oh, Druidcraft. Wind.
You hear a little breeze.
Lyra will just look right at Twiggy and go, sometimes I really hate you. And just like start walking forward.
Perfect.
I'll flutter behind. Wind.
It's just little puffs around you. Doesn't sound quite like what you were hearing, but
Right,
it
it's not
is-
the big like
right. It is also
Wind.
windy.
Wind and whimsy, they go together, hand in hand.
Okay, so Lyra's gonna come this way, down towards the door, but she's gonna like be watching where she's like walking to make sure
Mhm.
she doesn't like trip over anything, and like just like come towards the door to make sure that that's actually where the sound is coming from, and then like kind of like peek at the door a little bit, like is it locked? Is it trapped? She's investigating the door.
Sounds good. As you head that way, you notice that that area off to your on the map it's the right, but it would be her left. It is like the wall has crumbled down. It looks pretty stable, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
Just want to double check something real quick.
Great. Love that.
Right. You notice that a rusted iron door is set into the wall, so as you get closer, what maybe looked like wood because of its coloring is obviously more like rust-covered metal. It's banded and attached to the wall. And you can hear, like, just from underneath, like, that little gap underneath it is, like, that wind sound. It's definitely coming from somewhere in there.
Okay. Lyra's going to, stay near the door but wait for everybody else if they're coming or whatever they're doing, but she's not going in there alone.
Okay.
She's not happening.
Dizzy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna follow Lyra.
And Lilith has also been following, although she's reliant on that light as well, so she kind of heads with the dancing lights as you move it. Twiggy.
Well, I mean, he's kind of on a roll now, showing off his supreme magical prowess. So he's just going to be playing with the wind and making little wind gusts here and little wind gusts over here, and try and get the wind to like create little fancy little dancing bits of debris.
You do notice that it gets quite dark as the dancing lights move away from you.
Did you know that it never gets dark in the Feywild, like ever? Follow after him.
Okay.
Like seriously, never night. It's never night there. Like never. Totally new concept. Nighttime. Wild, isn't it? No, just me.
Lilith reaches out and pats you on the head lightly. Careful to not mess up your hat.
That's right. It's a fancy hat.
All right, so there you're standing before this door. As everyone gets closer, Dizzy and Twiggy, that sound is pretty obvious. It sounds like a faraway wind.
when we take over this house, we're gonna have to work on these drafts.
Are we taking this house?
Are
You
we
both can
not?
have it.
Yeah.
You guys can have
It
it.
comes with free lobster rolls. It's the best place I've ever been. I mean, besides it being kind of dark, which is not really ideal, but I mean, it's a fixer-upper, and I'm sure eventually, with enough good wishing, we'll get some sun, right? Hmm? No? Yeah.
They don't
That's
seem
how it
to-
works.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's fine.
I mean, the darkness doesn't bother me, so. But this house is weird, so I don't want to. I don't want to stay here.
Nothing a little exorcise can't fix.
Bring on the sage. It's fine. It's fine.
This house is clean. So, Lyra, everyone has joined you. No one seems to really be racing to open the door before you. What would you like to do?
She's gonna just gently. There's a handle, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
This. She's gonna turn the handle.
Okay. As you turn the handle, it's almost like somebody's on the other side waiting for you, and it just rips out of your hand as the door slams open, and everyone feels like this kind of gust hit them from behind as air goes rushing into the door, and as that happens, that sound kind of fades away. Lyra, you can still hear it vaguely, but you're not really sure if it's almost like an echo of that sound as opposed to the sound itself. And you do notice there's a set of stairs inside that spiral upward.
Upwards.
And in this circular room, there is a large portion of the floor that has collapsed in.
Lyra's going to go halfway between the stairs and the gap,
Okay.
and just over the edge, but as much as she can without getting closer. Again, this place, whenever she manages to get off by herself, this place gives her hell. So she's
I don't know what you're talking about.
So she's not straying too far from her group, which is weird because she's usually very independent, but she feels like she's going crazy and losing her mind.
Yeah.
So she's just going forward and looking over her shoulder and make sure the rest of them are still there, because sometimes she'll just step forward and then they're gone.
It's been known to happen.
It's been known to happen.
All right, so as she steps through, the three of you on the other side of the doorway notice the ground shakes a little bit, and the walls. There is a little bit of a shudder that kind of runs through the foundation, and let's have just all three of you on the other side are going to make a perception check.
Really good at those.
Right?
Really, really good at those.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, so good at those.
Right?
So good, so good, so good.
So, Dizzy, you hear what sounds like a yell. It's like a very deep, angry yell. Come from back the way you came. It's really kind of hard to discern. And as you're looking around, you notice that Lilith is also looking back that way, and her eyes are squinting at the darkness beyond the range of your light. And as the yell fades away, so does the trembling in the foundation. Lyra, you think you hear something? It seems a little muted where you are, and maybe there's a slight tremor in the ground, but not really that noticeable. You kind of look around to see if anything's moving. It must have been your imagination. What does everybody do?
I'm gonna say that we should probably check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in there.
Can Lyra hear Dizzy? Did she hear Dizzy say that?
Yeah.
Okay. And she'll turn away and be like, check what out?
Oh, did you not hear the scream in the distance?
A what now?
There was a scream in the distance.
I never want any of you to call me crazy again because you're hearing things, Dizzy. You're hearing things.
Lilith steps in and she's like, no, I heard it too. It's like a angry yell or maybe a painful scream. It was hard to tell. I don't know.
Probably a cat,
It was deeper than that. It sounded like a man, like
a big cat, big man cat.
I don't think so,
Okay.
Twiggy.
No?
Do you know which way it came from, guys? Because I didn't hear anything.
She just gestures back the way you came from.
Back the way they came from.
So did you want to, or should we just press on? I don't really think we should split up again.
God's no. And Lyra's like, no. No. We can investigate if you'd like to, but this is weird. This is weird, right? There's no stairs down, but there's a hole down. That's weird. I want to come back to this. Lyra's like, I'm not done with this. There's a hole, Twiggy.
Well, that's going to require extensive work to fix, I'm sure. But, yeah, what's down in the hole?
You're the only one that can fly, so I think it would probably be up to you to discern what's down there.
I am on it. I love missions. I'm going to totally find out what's at the bottom of the hole. It's probably nothing. But or treasure. Or lobster rolls. Yes. I'll light a torch.
Okay, and then do you light the torch before or after you zing down the hole in your excitement?
It's probably going to be midway through zing.
Okay.
There'll be a moment where I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I can't see. Duh. Did you know it's never nighttime in the Feywild? God, it's so weird.
His voice just like slowly recedes away.
How deep is this hole, first of all?
So Twiggy, you go about 30 feet down. It looks like, just like a sinkhole or something has dropped out. And so you're getting down there and you're starting to think, oh, it's really nothing. And then all of a sudden there's like a little bit of a breeze. And on one side, your torchlight reveals just an opening. Like the wall disappears suddenly and there's an opening that goes off into something. Your torchlight can't permeate far enough.
Well, that means it's big, and I am so small. So I will very bravely return to inform them of the expanse that's down below.
Okay.
Probably a bat cave.
Totally a bat cave.
Bat cave.
So Lyra and Dizzy, Twiggy's been gone for several minutes at this point. Every so often you think you hear some kind of movement or something. And you hear footsteps. Like heavy boots on wood kind of footsteps. And they seem to be ringing through the room behind you.
Behind us?
Yeah, so back the way you came from.
What should we do? I mean, we can't exactly leave Twiggy, but
Get in here. Lyra's like really making sure that everybody's in, and she's literally just going to close the door behind them.
Okay. So you close the door, and as you close it, you hear like the flapping of wings, and you look to see if you look to, expecting Twiggy to come back up. And as the flapping gets loud enough that you're expecting him to, rise out of the hole, you hear
Literally, Lyra's reaction is just.
I don't think that was Twiggy.
No, really?
Lilith is like, I don't see him anywhere, kind of like glancing down into the hole, but I can only see so far with the light. Sorry. Can you see any further, Dizzy?
What do you mean?
So she can't see in the darkness, but she knows you can see in the darkness, and so she asked if you can see deeper into the hole than she can.
Okay. I'll step closer and look down, and do I see anything?
As you glance down, you can't see a bottom, and there's something moving on the walls, like all of the walls. They seem to kind of be like the surface of the walls is a little shiny to you. It's probably like a little play off the light that you have, and it just seems to kind of be writhing.
Oh, that's no good.
Great. Can Lyra see this at all? No, because it's down in the hole, right?
It's down the hole, so if you look in the hole, you can see it. If you're not looking in the hole, then you can't.
Since Dizzy's looking in the hole, she trusts Dizzy enough to look in the hole. She's very much like. Does it still like she's like focused on the door too because they heard those footsteps, so she's like waiting for somebody to come through the door, right? She's like, but she's like very like posed and prepared and quiet, just like, oh, okay.
So, Dizzy, as you're looking, and Lilith is kind of like looking over with you, but she can't see very much, and Lyra is prepping for somebody to come to the door. You hear that laughter again, and it just grows and grows in volume until it almost sounds like a retch, like something is like, and spewing out of the hole shoots first a small orange fur ball with wings, but covering the fur ball and kind of vomiting out onto the floor and like spewing up to the ceiling and covering everything are small white grub like things.
Maggot type things or bigger?
Yeah, kind of like maggots. Why don't we all roll initiative?
Yeah!
Make sure you click on your token first.
So I've gotta go. I have like an emergency that I need to tend
Uh-oh.
to. So I am very sorry.
No worries. I hope everything is okay.
Yeah, me too. But I will catch y'all later.
Okay,
Sorry.
let us know if you need anything.
Yep.
All right,
Let's
we'll
know how it
do.
goes.
Be good, Max.
Yeah, bye.
All right, hold on one moment. Go ahead and roll your initiative.
Okay.
Initiative.
And I'm going to fix some camera stuff while you're doing that.
Boop.
Maybe.
Great. Love that for luck. Oh no.
Well,
Nice.
you know, I am the fastest, the most alert.
Oh, yeah.
Always battle ready, 100%. I know what's up.
100%.
100%. Got this.
All right. Except for you are not Lilith, you are Lyra. One moment.
Yeah.
I thought I fixed it all quick like. It was
Okay,
close.
I can be Lilith. I can be Lilith.
There we go. All right, so let me roll for Lilith, and then... Yeah, I haven't rolled yet. Then I'll roll for Twiggy. Initiative. Oh, no, she did roll. Never mind, she had a 21. And Dizzy. Let me snag Dizzy's character sheet real quick. Dizzy. View. Okay, so Lilith was a 21. Dizzy is a 20. Okay. Sorry, hang on one sec.
That's okay. Sorry, guys. Anybody who's watching.
Right?
I'm not sorry.
So, Twiggy, as you come shooting through the top, all of a sudden you're just covered in things that are swarming all over you. And the rest of you are kind of covered by them as they spew out and around the room and are just raining back down on you. Lilith just kind of makes a noise that is obviously disgust. And she is going to after they roll initiative. Excellent.
Wow.
She is going to just try and brush them off of her. Where is Lilith? Now I have too many things going on. Okay. Actually, I think so. She has spells. She does not have what I expected, though. So let's She's gonna do an unarmed strike to try and smoosh him off of herself. Smoosh.
Smish.
She definitely hits. And smooshes some. Okay. Izzy, who's also not here. He says something in Elvish, which I think only Lyra can understand. Lyra, it's definitely something that would make someone who maybe doesn't know Dizzy that well, would make their ears burn a little. And he is also going to try and remove the maggots from himself. Let me make sure. Spells. You know what? He's going to... what he said was actually his vocal, his somatic component, or sorry, his vocal component for Vicious Mockery. So the maggots on him need to make a wisdom save. And they don't, so they're going to take some damage. Excellent. Okay, that brings us to Lyra. Lyra, what do you do?
No. Lyra doesn't love bugs. She's not like scared of bugs, and they don't really like. She's just like, yeah, So she's also just gonna kind of like, if she can. I mean, she's just gonna like get them off.
Yeah. So if you want to do like an unarmed attack, you can do that.
Sure. Great.
Yeah, you're just kind of like smooshing them around, but like as you move, they just climb onto your hands and like.
Okay, now Lyra's like,
Yeah.
Get them off.
Anything else?
She's gonna try to use her bonus action to make a perception check.
Okay.
To see where, if like these, like obviously these maggot like things didn't do that creepy laugh, nor do they have wings the size that sounded.
Yeah.
Like, so she's using her bonus action, like, oh, get him off, but actually she's just like, trying to like look down the hole to see if there's something following
Yeah,
these maggots.
you don't see anything. There's no shapes heading up or flying up, and the walls seem to be crawling less. Most of what was on them seems to have spewed into this room.
Ew. Okay, that's kind of what she's doing.
Okay.
That's it for her.
Let's see, where are we here? All right, so as they swarm on you,
Oh,
you're Lyra, you're like moving around has like caused them to not really be able to bite you very well.
Okay.
There's not enough on you, Twiggy, to do anything, but on Dizzy and Lilith, they're also going to do their thing.
Oof.
On Lilith, I think it's... There we go. They're kind of like climbing on her armor, and like there's some like on her head and her hair, some on her hands, but she's kind of doing well enough as far as keeping them off of her skin for them to do anything. And then on Dizzy, same thing. His like dancing around and swiping manages to keep them from really doing much. So that brings us to Twiggy. This amount that's on you isn't really large enough. It looks like they can't do anything to you, so I'm just going to delete that one.
Okay. These are gross. Although they smell strangely like lobster roll. Weird. Let's see here. Seeing that everybody is not enjoying these little buggers, I'm gonna come to their aid with I don't be throwing weapons at them. I think that's a bad idea. So yeah, I'm gonna try and help. Who's the closest person? Dizzy. Kind of fly over here. And I will... Hiya! Do the thing. There we go.
11.
11.
All right, roll your damage.
Damage. It's super high because it's I think it's just say it just says 2, right? Does it say 2? Yep. 2 points.
2 points. It should be
It's
what's
kinda
your strength
listed as
bonus?
+1.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Dose.
you fly up and you like smoosh some of them with your hands, and there's like goop kind of flying everywhere. They do smell a little bit like that lobster roll that you've been eating. Maybe like the pre-cooked version. Like they're not quite as scrumptious smelling, and they're moving more than the lobster roll was moving.
It's true. Very odd. I don't know why they smell like the lobster roll. I mean, clearly lobster roll delicious. These probably aren't very good to eat.
But do you know until you try it?
It's true. You know? It is true. I mean, like when in this weird place, like, right? You're supposed to, you know, I don't know, adapt to the culture of this house.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Lilith continues to smush them that are on her, as does Dizzy. Let's see how successful Dizzy is. I know he's gonna mock them some more. So they need to do wisdom save, and they fail.
Ooh.
So he'll do 1 point of psychic damage to them.
Yeah.
And the swarm that's on Dizzy is definitely smaller than the 2 that are on Lilith and Lyra right now. Lyra, what do you do?
Oh, Lyra is so over this. Like she just I mean, when is she not over everything, really?
True. True.
She is what is she going to do? Rather than trying to like push them off, she's now just like succumb to it and she's like slapping them like get off like
Right.
you know like can she just like squish them and then just like clean herself? Like that's kind of where she's at.
Totally. Yeah, it definitely seems to be working for Dizzy as the two of
Yeah.
them are, well, like Twiggy's smooshing them. So go
Yeah.
ahead and do an unarmed attack. Nice.
Great.
And what is your strength bonus?
0.
Okay. So yeah, you smoosh some. It looks like Dizzy and Twiggy are having more effect because there's two of them, but you know they'll get to you,
Great. Lyra loves this.
right? So as you're like trying to like smoosh them, they like try and you can tell that they're trying to like bite into your skin, but they just don't have enough purchase or something. They're not really doing much.
Go back to the hell that you came from, you disgusting creatures.
Same thing on Dizzy. Twiggy, you can see that they're just not really doing very well as far as getting purchased into his skin. And same with with Lilith. Most of them are just swarming on her armor and her clothes, so it's hard for them to really do much of anything. Twiggy, what do you do?
Well, this kind of reminds me of that one time where the satyr had worms, but then like the fae, like the arc fae, was like super like not into it, and they ravaged the forest for a bit. You know, big giant worms. No, anybody have that experience? Same experience? No. Oh, smush, 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 smush.
One of the maggots stops. Is like
It's what?
so. One of the maggots stops and is like,
Oh yeah. Like, were you there? You couldn't have been there. I mean, if you were there, well, I'll save you for last. We'll have a little talk. Smoosh, smush, smush.
okay.
Let's see here.
You're unarmed smoosh.
Smoosh. Boop.
As you're kind of like smooshing, you're just not really doing much to them at this point. Like you just feel like you're not really being as effective as you were.
Al, I mean, there's also this worm who I think I know, but I'm not really sure. I mean, you don't look the same. Harry? Is that your name?
Right.
Were you there, the satyr?
And as you like are kind of like trying to figure out whether or not this maggot is like the one that might have been at that, Feywild event, the door slams open and there's this gust of chill wind that flows in and over you. And oddly enough, the dancing lights wink out, almost like they were blown out by the wind.
Oh no.
Lilith swears.
No.
Lilith swears, and because I don't know how Lilith would swear, it's likely not as foul as Dizzy's swear, because she's a cleric, but maybe it is. I don't know. She is going to attempt to smoosh more things on her. But now she is at disadvantage. Which doesn't matter, she still smooshes a bunch of them. Dizzy, who is not at disadvantage because he can still see them, he's going to try smooshing because it just seems like they're not really... He's not doing all that much to them. And his other spells don't really help in this situation. So... He smooshes a couple. Lyra, you can still see. What do you do?
Okay, so the door opens and a cold wind comes in.
Yeah.
Lyra's. I hate that I'm about to say this. The cold doesn't bother her, right? So she's not bothered by the cold. Um, and so she's in the process of like, smacking these things. And as the door opens, she kind of looks up and is there anything there?
You can see into the room beyond, and while you don't see anything else, you do feel like maybe something is like you get a feeling that there's a presence there rather than be able to see it. It's just kind of this oppressive push almost that you feel like something is beyond that door.
She's annoyed because she always is half the time anyway. So she's smushing these things and she's assuming the maggots are just gonna come with her at this point. Uh, and she steps towards the door and is like, "What?"
Okay. So you head that way and you shout out into the darkness, and there's like a moment of silence, like the wind has kind of died down, and you shout and you don't hear anything, and then you hear in kind of a loud, gruff, angry voice, you hear, "Where are you?"
Does everybody else hear this?
Yeah, yeah. It was not
Okay.
an only you thing
Okay.
for
Okay. Lyra's like, right here. I hurry back at him.
Okay. Do you want to try and remove any of these maggots that are on you, or is that your
Like, I mean, like when she's like shaking her arm, she's kind of like really like
sure?
shaking.
Why don't you do let's do a dex save.
Dex save.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So essentially, as you were shaking everything, you have moved out of the swarm. So the swarm is here,
Okay.
and like the ones that are on you have kind of fallen to the ground. It
Okay.
looks like the swarm is going to come after you, but currently you are not in it.
Okay. She's ready to stomp on them if she needs to, but
Okay.
pretty much where she's at.
All right. So on Lilith, they're just not finding purchase. They can't seem to find any flesh that's exposed. They seem confused by her armor. However, Twiggy, you notice that there are several that now have been able to get a purchase on Dizzy's skin and begin to bite and burrow into his skin. He takes 8 points of damage. I must make a con save. Dizzy, where are you? Con save. Oh no!
Oh no.
Yeah, Twiggy, he definitely looks a little worried as like he begins scraping at his skin, and it's hard to tell. Oh, actually, sorry, Twiggy, you can't see any of this,
No, it's never nighttime in the Feywild.
right?
Wait,
Nope.
doesn't Twiggy have a torch or did it go out?
I think it went out. If it got rid of dancing lights, probably got rid of
It did go out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, this one's going to attempt to swarm over you again. Lyra. But because you were like ready for it, you're just like stomping on the ground as they move forward. They don't seem to find, like, none of them even like start to climb up your boots. Or do you have boots or shoes?
She has boots.
Okay. Twiggy. It is dark. You can hear the of the maggots climbing all over everyone, and like there was that voice, and then Lyra shouted back, and there's people like smacking themselves, but you can't see anything. What would you like to do?
Frank, you still there? That was you, right? Yeah, Frank. Damn it! I'm gonna pull out a torch.
Okay. You,
Light the
you
torch.
technically, if you had the torch with you, it's still there. You just need to relight it.
Light the torch.
Okay. Do you want to do so with Druidcraft, or do you want to use your tinderbox?
I don't think I could. I don't think I can do Druidcraft if I can't see it, right?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Unless I can create a spark. I don't know. I mean, you could create a small bit of fire, right? You can light a fire, but I think you have to be able to see the fire.
You do have to be able to see it, yeah. So you pull out your torch, or you pull out your tinderbox and light it. It will be an action to do that.
Yes.
And can you see? Are you able to? Is your light on?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I can see the whole map.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can still see. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So that's your action. Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to move?
I mean, I guess I'll be on Dizzy's shoulder, trying to kick some of these maggots off of them. You
Okay.
know, trying to relocate Frank. Where's Frank?
At this point, you're not even sure which one Frank was because now they've all kind of like
They all look alike.
swarmed
They're all
together.
like
Yeah.
big swarm, and they're all just undulating, weird little,
Blech.
larvae creatures. Raise your body if you're. Oh no, not all of you at once. Which of you is Frank? That'll be the end of. Which
Trying to-
one?
Trying to find a good token here for diseased. Grab? No. I do think that their tokens are weird. We're gonna go with that one. Okay, so just so I remember, Lilith is going to continue try to smoosh them. Excellent. As will Dizzy. Dizzy looks a little freaked out right now because, like, you can see them like climbing under his skin, and he just like begins slapping at them. Nice. Lyra.
So she still can't see this thing.
Yeah, there's nothing visible in the other room. There's just like this
Okay.
presence.
She's gonna
that you
kind of
feel.
like. She can take a minute. You know, she's kind of like stomping on maggots as they get close to her. But she like takes a breath, closes her eyes, and like thinks of the one thing she doesn't really want to think of, which is her father. And Liz just like, okay. She can kind of like open her eyes and like see if she can like sense anything magical. Like she wants to do like an Arcana type of check, right? To be like, okay, am I blind? Is it blind? Like, what's like? We're both right here. Like, what's the blockage
Right.
here?
Go ahead and make your check.
Okay. Great.
Right.
There's a reason she hates her dad.
So, you're trying to figure out what it is, where the presence is, and as you're sitting there, you can hear like wood creaking from beyond the chamber that you're in, and you almost hear like a breath that exhales, and a little bit of wind goes by you. You still can't see anything,
Okay.
but you feel like that presence is further than this chamber. It just has a very oppressive feel to it.
Great.
Anything else?
She's going to, because she can see, right? And
Yep. Yeah, in
Dizzy
fact,
can
now there's
technically
light
see
as
too.
well.
Okay. She's gonna like go over to Dizzy and Twiggy and like grab their hands and like gesture to Lilith and be like, "There's a thing. Just go take care of it. See what it wants. All right."
All right.
So she's gonna lead them back out this way. She's kind of like, if there's still maggots, she's like smacking them off of whoever.
Sure.
Like, let's go, let's go. She tries to go through the door, I should say. I don't know if she actually makes it through the door.
You're able to move out of the door.
She's kind of dragging like Dizzy and Twiggy and gesturing to Lilith, like, let's go, up two.
But the,
One,
but
two,
the
one, two.
stairs, but there's stairs in a hole.
Do you not hear the loud booming voice, Twiggy?
Well, I just thought that was Lilith.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hang on, I gotta check something.
Uh-oh.
As you head out and
Oh,
Twiggy and Lilith are trying to, like brush off all these maggots, and Dizzy's just getting frantic now. More and more of them begin to burrow into Dizzy's skin, and Twiggy, you watch as he looks at you and his eyes just roll up in his head and he falls down.
Oh god.
Well, that's not good.
Twiggy, what do you do?
I'm going to use my torch. Try and swat away the remaining maggots.
Sure.
Maybe that'll do a thing. Maybe they don't like fire.
So roll an unarmed attack, and we'll add some fire damage to it.
All right.
If you hit.
Fire. All right, here we go. Unarmed fire.
You're really worried that you're going to burn Dizzy,
Yeah.
and so you're just kind of like holding it over them, and like you don't want to hit Dizzy's form. Some of them are like, "Ee," but none of it doesn't really seem to do much.
Don't make me do the thing I did last time, Frank. Do not make me do the thing I did last time.
Anything
Frank.
else? Do you want to stay where you are?
I think trying to drag Dizzy would also be an action.
It's actually part of your movement.
Okay.
So it halves
I'm
your
going to
movement, but you
going
can.
to attempt to start dragging Dizzy towards Lilith because she's bigger and not stronger, but bigger, and therefore probably more capable
Right.
of handling
What is
that.
your
So I
strength?
can 13.
13. So this swarm, I'm gonna just move it for a moment because you managed to get him there, and you kind of pull him out of the swarm, and you've your fire kind of caused some of them to fall off. So it looks like while there are some on him, most of the remaining swarm is now he's not in it. All right. Lilith, she just she squats down and jumps up and goes, "Ugh!" And like a bunch of the ones that are on her armor and such fall off, and she's gonna come over here, pick up Dizzy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll move to there. You know what? She's gonna move. She'll dash to get to there with carrying Dizzy. Do. Death save. Hang on.
Oh boy.
So Dizzy is currently unconscious. Oh, I can't change his thing. All right.
Uh-oh.
Well, then we will roll a d20. All right. So one
Nice.
success. And since you're flying, Twiggy, you notice that this swarm heads this way. This one is kind of trying to get you, and this one's trying to get you, but they are crawling up on each other to kind of create a pillar to reach up to you, but they don't quite make it. What do you do? Oh no, wait.
Not today, Frank. Not today.
Sorry, I skipped Lyra. Lyra, what are you doing?
Oh. She honestly, so there's maggots in the door, but she's gonna wait for Twiggy. She's like, come on, let's go. She's gonna hold her action. Honestly,
Okay.
she's gonna wait. She's gonna wait for Twiggy.
Is there a held action that you want to do? So like if maggots reach you, they'll do or you'll
Right. Yeah. So if the maggots reach them, she will like either stomp on them, drop things on them. Like honestly, she'll probably just tell. No, that's a bad idea. No, she'll have Lilith like help her stomp on them, or if Twiggy reaches them, she's gonna like help them move very quickly forward away from these goddamn maggots.
Okay. So essentially, Twig. I guess I should ask Twiggy, what's your plan?
I mean, well, he's sad he's lost Frank. But we'll get back to Frank. It's fine. He'll be around. And just gonna zip after the rest of them. Looking longingly at those stairs and the hole. And then calculating in his head how much it's gonna cost to like fix that floor. It's gonna be a lot. We need a wizard. We need to find a wizard. We need to find a wizard in this town. I'm sure there's a wizard in this town. Yeah. Just kind of flit behind and flutter between Lyra and Lilith as my torch is so small.
And yet it creates this amazing light.
It's magic.
Right.
Magic
It's
torch.
magic.
So Twiggy, as you head out, you can see that the swarms are following after you, but they don't move that quickly, and so the group is able to outdistance them pretty rapidly. After Lilith gets Dizzy into this room, she does stop for a moment. She closes her eyes and she utters a prayer, and she heals him for 8 points.
Hmm.
It's funny because I can cast everything, but I can't mark off anything, so we'll just have to remember she has used a spell, and he is at 8 points. Let me make a note here. Lyra, as you climb through, you can hear the crawling and whatever that wet noise is that swarms make as they're crawling forward. It's definitely following you, but it's going to take them a bit to catch up. Do you want to continue on?
She's just gonna kind of like find a box and stack it on top of a bit, like just kind of like block the hole a little bit in a haphazard way, right?
Yeah.
Like take a crate and just block the hole in a haphazard way. Like, I mean, obviously there will be cracks, but it'll take them a while to get through.
And
So that's our.
you notice that this door is open as you're moving boxes. There's definitely enough boxes to cover everything up.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you left that door open or closed, but it's definitely open now. Twiggy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna stick. No, I'm gonna flit ahead. Stick together. The best scout there ever was. Magic scout, wizard scout, bang bang bang.
Lyra, Twiggy's just talking to himself as he flies away,
That's right.
making like finger guns and stuff.
Magic missile. It'll work eventually. Raise my little torch and see if I can see a thing or a person or a larger Frank.
You don't see anything in here besides what you saw earlier. There's some cobwebs above you. There's the bodies of the cat creatures. Your animated bush is laying there in pieces.
No Frank number 2.
Yeah.
What will I tell them? What a pickle. Hey, we could just feed these cats to those worms and then problem solved, right? Huh? Problem
Sure.
solving. Yes.
Sure, Twiggy, sure.
The smartest. I'm the smartest here.
Lilith is like,
okay.
that's actually not a bad plan. And she'll go in after setting Dizzy down and help carry the bodies back, and just like in case they get through the hole, we'll plop them here.
That should buy us some time. Not that we need it, but it will probably buy us some time.
Dizzy kind of walks along. He's smooshing like his skin still. It looks like he's gotten anything that was wiggling under the skin to stop wiggling. But he just looks a little peaked.
You know what you need?
What?
Lobster roll.
No. No lobster rolls.
Suit yourself.
What do you all want to do?
Lara is going to take, some like crackers from her bag and be like, eat these.
Are you sure?
Because they might make you feel bad. I don't know. I have nothing else to help eat them.
They're a little stale.
You're welcome. She turns around and like walks.
And he'll just follow along,
right,
munching
so
on your crackers.
As they're going, Lyra's gonna, come with Twiggy through the door. And does she still feel that like presence, like that like thick?
Yeah,
like, force?
it's almost like the atmosphere at this point where there's just like this kind of oppressiveness that's going on. But as you're heading into this room, you can hear footfalls. Again, of like heavy boots on wood and like some creaking of wood. It sounds like it's overhead, but maybe not directly overhead. Like it's not in the floorboards that you can see through the ceiling, or that essentially are the ceiling.
Okay.
So it's somewhere else in the house, but it's very obvious.
Can I kind of look at Twiggy and be like, hide and seek anyone? Marco Polo. Think we should find this thing.
Yes. Wait, who's seeking and who's hiding? Who's it?
We're it.
Awesome. I've never played a hide and seek where there's more than one it. Or wait, are we it or are we seeking?
She's just kind of like, she's like, we're going to find the thing, okay?
Oh yeah, the not Lilith.
The not Lilith, yeah. We're gonna go find not
yeah,
Lilith.
Let's
So
do it.
She's gonna kind of go this way, and as she like is walking up the stairs, she's just gonna kind of like have like gently like take out one of her daggers to just like have in her hand, so she doesn't have to like draw it. And she's gonna go up the stairs and go back up the stairs. Careful, she's gonna like creak the door open, right? Assuming there was a door. There is a door, right?
There was a door. It is open.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna gently creak the door open, and make sure there's nothing in the room that they're trying to go to.
Excellent. Sorry. Can you all see the first floor
Yes.
map?
Yes. So Lyra's kind of at the front here a little bit, and she's like gently like she like pushes the door a little bit.
Twiggy,
Peering out.
Are you following? I should not assume.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we're playing a game, and I love games. So yeah, this sounds like a great one.
Actually, I need to. There we go. Except for she is not whatever that one was. Sleeping. Okay. All right. So you glance in. It just seems chillier in here than it did earlier. The like warmth of the fire doesn't really seem to be helping the kitchen to feel more cozy. You don't see any people or anything, and there's no food. There's no lobster rolls, no desserts of any kind, no meat pies.
a letter to the manager about this. I mean,
Sorry,
whoever
Twig.
we're seeking took it. Like, whoever we're seeking totally raided the kitchen and took it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they wanted all that rotten food.
I don't know what you're talking about, rotten food. It was exotic, I suppose. But, hits the stomach pretty good.
All right. So Lyra just kind of like shakes her head at Twiggy a bit, just like, you confuse me, Twig. You confuse me. And she makes sure, um, they're going this way. It's dimly lit now, right? The torches are still there.
Yep.
We know there are no torches. Yeah, there are torches.
So Twiggy has a torch.
Right, and it's relit. Yeah,
And
it's
there's
relit.
like a dim light coming through these windows.
Right. It's been a while since we've been upstairs. I couldn't remember how it was lit.
Right?
Are there torches? Are there windows? What's happening in here? I also struggle because again, Lyra can see, so I can see the whole map.
Right.
So I'm like, can there be?
Disney moves in and he's a little like sways a little on his feet, and stands next to the fire like he's trying to warm up. But it just doesn't seem to really be emanating much heat, if any at all. And Twiggy, are you coming into the room?
Yeah. No surprise that it's confusing. I mean, like, if you were the Feywild, you'd be super confused. That's just kind of what happens to people who come by for a visit. I mean, generally, unless you're a wizard, in which case you wreck house, and then it's the worst.
And Lyra, while Twiggy's talking, you hear footsteps again. It's a little more obvious that they are upstairs. It sounds like they're not directly over you, but in a nearby area, one floor above you.
Are they? So she remembers upstairs. Do they sound like they're coming from the bedroom-ish area upstairs?
I don't think so, but let me just double check something real quick.
Okay.
No, it sounds more like I believe you were in that area.
Lyra went in most rooms on the right-hand
Yeah.
side of the upstairs.
So there was the room that you found the will in.
Okay.
It sounds like they're more in that direction. So south on the
So
map.
like that office? Yeah, that
Yeah.
office room.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound like they're trying to be quiet. They're just like walking. And very faintly you hear, "Where are you?"
Lyra's just gonna go, Marco.
No one's named Marco here.
A little maggot is like, "Polo!" on the stair.
Frank!
Frank,
Hello!
you made it. You made it.
I would
Like,
like
he's
to go
like-
back to the Feywild, please.
Well, I mean, wouldn't we both like that, buddy? But I think sometimes it's better to take a vacation from Feywild from time to time. Sometimes it's good to
That's what I
explore
did.
the
I
place.
ended up here, and I've been having to hang out with this extended family rather than my
Do you-
own family.
Do you know where we are? I mean,
No.
clearly the prime material plane, obviously, but no, you don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Well, it sure is better than the Feywild, right? Am I right? Huh?
Like you're really not sure why this maggot is talking?
He's from the Feywild. Why
Right.
wouldn't he?
Right.
Look, petition to have Frank be an official mascot for the party.
Oh, you ruined
Oh,
Twiggy.
no.
Yes. Seconded. Yes, we'll carry Frank with us forever. He'll be the new Bush. The
Right.
new Bush.
Oh my god.
Who's gonna carry Frank? All right, Twiggy
I will
picks up
totally carry
Frank.
Frank.
Twiggy
yeah.
has Frank.
He's almost like the size of your palm, Twiggy. Like, being that you're so small, but you can carry him pretty comfortably.
All right. Well, I'll stick him in my hat, but I will tell him not to eat my hat. Don't eat the hat.
No, I don't. I don't really like to eat hats. I like flesh.
Oh, I mean, like, hey, you should have been up here like just a while ago when they were lobster rolls that not Lilith totally stole, and we're gonna go and correct that problem right now.
Sounds good.
Not Lilith is up in the office. Twiggy. Uh,
To the
out
office.
to the office.
Okay.
Zing that direction. I don't know where that is, but like that way.
Yeah. Which way do
That
you
way.
go?
Is there an
Lyra's
open door?
gonna go. She's avoiding the dining room at all costs. So she's because
Okay.
fuck that dining room. She's out on that dining room. Goes to the hallway, down the hall, down the hall.
Okay. Hang on one sec.
Okay.
As you get to there, you do notice that there is a flickering orange light coming from underneath this door. You didn't notice it earlier,
Okay, she's definitely gonna pause.
but you definitely, and you can hear the footsteps. They're over here above you, and it sounds like they're moving kind of this way, almost like they're leaving the office.
Okay. At this door, she's gonna kind of look to Twiggy. I don't think she actually came out downstairs. She
Nope.
didn't do a lot downstairs.
The only person
Um,
that's been in this room is Twiggy.
Yeah. So she's. I mean, I don't even think Lyra knows that. This Twiggy didn't see the lights before though, just like out of character. Is this
There
I
like,
didn't
was
start the
light.
fire.
Yeah, there was light in there, but there was
Okay.
no fire burning.
Okay, okay. Well, Lyra's just gonna cautiously like push at the door because she doesn't know better. She's just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the door creaks open, and you can see that there's a fire burning in there. There's a large round table with chairs set around it, a rug underneath it that kind of matches in color to some of the other ones that you've seen. This one seems a little more in good repair as opposed to the faded ones that you've seen in other rooms. But there are cobwebs in this room. That's what you just at a glance kind of notice.
Okay. She's gonna go in.
Okay.
She's going to the stairs. She's on her way. She's gonna, her plan is to come this way.
Twiggy,
To
what you
upstairs.
doing?
Following,
Okay.
chatting with Frank, about stuff.
Okay. So Lyra, you're gonna head through this southern door.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head that way, and you listen as those those footfalls. They do. It sounds like they entered that hallway that's above this hallway, and are now
Okay.
walking towards the back of the house. Twiggy comes in after you, and then Lilith kind of like is helping Dizzy move along. He's just like he looks kind of sickly. And as you all head that way, when Lilith enters, there's a brief and subtle flare to the lights in the room. There's like some sconces on the wall that seem to just be glowing. They don't have fire in them that you can tell. And a chandelier that has candles on it flares to life. Like not the chandelier, but the candles. The chandelier's like, "What's up?" No, the chandelier, the candles on it all spark and light up. And Lyra's like, "What the?" Or sorry, Lilith. Lilith is like, "What the? Something's moving on me. Hang on." And she begins to like root around in her pockets. And
Oh boy.
she pulls out a card from her pocket, and she looks at it like confusedly, and then it just rips out of her hand and flies across the room and lands on top of this deck of cards that's on this table here. And as that happens, a woman appears in this chair. She has kind of a strange dress on, something you haven't really noticed before, or like seen before in the places you've been. But it's a fairly tight-fitting purplish dress on top, and then it flares out. You can see it has a fairly large dress. Words are not coming to my brain very well right now. Sorry.
What part of the dress?
The lower part of the dress, like waist down.
Skirt.
The skirt. Thank you. The skirt
Yep.
is kind of like a floofy. It has that underskirt on it that pushes it out. It all
Petticoat.
seems to be petticoat. She has a fairly small hat on that just seems to rest on top of her head, but there's a veil that is attached to it that comes down and like rests on her shoulders. You can see somewhat through the veil, but then you realize that you can also see somewhat through her. You can see slight details of the chair that she's sitting on. And she says, "Ah, there's my missing card. Thank you for returning it to me." And that is where we're going to end for this week.
Okay.
Because from here out, I would like the other two to be here, but
To be
also
here.
it's a good place to stop because I know we have some hard stop times today. So,
Yes.
any questions?
I don't think so. I'm excited.
Twiggy?
Well, I mean, card games, total
Card
distraction. Forgot what we were doing. Cards. Let's play some cards right now. That sounds great. Love your hat, by the way.
She's
Great
like,
hat.
"Thanks. Do you play Magic too? Do you have a deck? I've got my commander deck here."
Yes, I'm the champion of
It's-
magic. I am a magical creature.
It's a ghost deck.
I've got a ghost deck. It's a better ghost deck than you've got.
Oh. All right. Well, tune in next Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern to see what this ghost has up her metaphysical sleeve.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thanks for watching today.
All
We
right.
will see you then. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.